Time now for sports on 104.7 The Cave. Here's Ned Reynolds.
Mike, the intern, Ned Reynolds, back in the studio. This week is just flying by. So we talked a little bit about Travis Kelce's DNP on Monday, even though there wasn't a practice, but he was limited yesterday, which is good.
Went out on the field, did go through the drills, but it is called a limited practice. There were a couple others who were limited as well. I have to admit to you, Mike, I don't know what limited means. I would assume that it means you don't go through all of the drills as such that may involve the injured portion of your body, but regardless of that, he was on the field, he'll dress, he will play on Thursday. Now, whether or not he starts, that's another question. They might put Noah Gray in there. After all, the Chiefs are a 10.5-point favorite in this one. Denver is just simply not very good. And that does not preclude the fact that, of course, the Broncos could get out there and win the game. They won't, but they could get out there. Still, Kelce will play, but who knows by how much.
Well, he's a tough dude, and that's despite everything else going on in the world right now. As long as he's on that field catching footballs and helping us win games, that's what I am concerned with. And he proved to me on Sunday that he is a tough hombre. So we always talk about the power rankings as a beauty contest because it's always decided on the field week to week, game to game, but the Chiefs still remain in the top, 3?
Yeah, top 3. In fact, 3rd in the power ranking that I use. There's several of them. ESPN has one, Associated Press has one, some maybe internet firm has one. I go by the NFL power ranking. While it is not official, there is no such thing as an official power ranking. As you mentioned, Mike, it's decided on the field. But in the NFL's, the Chiefs are 3rd behind the San Francisco 49ers and Philadelphia Eagles. Chiefs don't play the 49ers, but they do play the Eagles on November 20th, right before Thanksgiving. That's a Monday night game. Still, it's good. They're lofty. They're a Super Bowl contender. They're the number 1 team in the AFL, or AFC, I should say, in the rankings. They're good. Let's face it. It's a good football team. We've said it all along. Whether or not they're the best in the NFL, that remains to be seen. That's proven on the field. But are they a contender? You bet, in every single regard.
Well, we'll see what happens. Again, it's always decided on the field. Challenger to PGA's dominance in golf has been the LIV Tour so far. In the first year, it seemed like they might have a little bit of shakeup, but time has told that might not be the case.
Well, the fact is they suffered a big setback yesterday in terms of the relevance of the players. Now, the LIV players, they'll still be getting their money. That's not within question. But they will not be gaining any points in the world rankings. And that's a big deal to the players because you want to be up there. That involves getting more cash and endorsements and so forth and so on. But they're not going to be included. Now, these players, and according to the folks who make that decision, the World Ranking Committee that makes that decision, it's not a knock at the players. Their level of competition is very, very good, but it is not the same as the 24 other World Golf Tours that are governed by the World Ranking Committee. And because of the difference, and it is, the committee has said, nope, there's not an equitable measure of competition here, so we cannot give these guys any world rankings. That has to be a setback to some. Whether or not it involves their changing of the groups back to the PGA again, that remains to be seen. But in terms of the LIV golfers getting points in world rankings, it will not happen.
Baseball playoffs continued last night. Who won and who's playing today?
Well, the Houston Astros are the reigning World Series champions. They got down 1-0 to the Minnesota Twins in their playoffs, and how quickly that evaporated. The Stros made it a 2-1 lead yesterday with a 9-1 victory. Now, when Houston made a deal a couple of years ago, it was last year as a matter of fact, for Jose Abreu, there was some, hey, this guy's old. He's over the hill. He can't do anything anymore. Abreu is 36, but he hit a 3-run homer in the first inning in last night's game, propelling the Astros to that win over the Twins 9-1. Houston leads that series 2-1. They will play again today. As a matter of fact, all 3 remaining of the series will play today. The other one, and this is interesting because the Texas Rangers have knocked out the Baltimore Orioles. Orioles won 101 games this year, and they are gone in 3 straight. But the Texas Rangers, a very good baseball team. Texas wins it 7-1. The Rangers, playing before their home fans, had a big 5-run second inning keyed by a 3-run homer by Adolis Garcia. the same Adolis Garcia who played for the Springfield Cardinals back around 2017, 2018 in that era. How about that? Okay, these players come back to really propel themselves into the headlines. So that series is all over, and the Texas Rangers are the first team to move to the League Championship Series, which will begin this weekend. They'll have some time off. There are 3 games today, the 2 National League games, plus the Houston-Minnesota game, all on the calendar for today. That even things out so they can conclude the divisional series maybe Friday, at the most Friday, and then start it on Sunday. The way it's very interesting, all done for scheduling purposes and TV purposes.
You still think the Braves are the one?
Well, the Braves had a great year. They're the winningest team in baseball along with the Los Angeles Dodgers. That series is tied 1-1. When Atlanta came from behind to beat Philadelphia, 4 runs down the other night in Atlanta, and won the game 5-4, it told me something about the Braves and how tough they are. Now, we'll see how tough they are because these games are in Philadelphia starting today, and the Philadelphia crowd, well, I'm from there. I know how raucous they can be and how disruptive they can be. Does that have an effect on the players? May find that out today.
Speaking of baseball, when's the Battle for Bell coming up?
Battle for Bell will be October 19th. It's a Thursday in the middle part of this month, and that's always a big deal. Now, it is later in the year than usual, later in the fall, but it'll be at Hammons Field, and it involves 4 teams. BBC and Evangel play at noontime. Missouri State and Drury play at 6:30, all at Hammons Field. It's called Battle for Bell because the game is played in the honor of the late Howard Bell, the iconic longtime coach at Glendale, former player, former Bear, and a Parkview standout. Howard succumbed to the ravages of ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease, about 8 years ago, and the clinic at Cox South is the ALS clinic. It's the only one for the area, and this game is played for that benefit. It is October 19th. Love for you to get those tickets and get out there. Might be cool, especially for the Bears-Drury game, but we'll see what happens.
What are the odds on this Mizzou-Kentucky game Saturday night?
This is a big one for both those teams.
Hell yeah, it is.
Kentucky played Georgia last week and got run out of the ballpark. Missouri played LSU, lost it 49-39. So you take a look at what the situation is and who is playing whom and what their schedules are.
And where they're playing.
And Kentucky is playing at home. They're playing at this Kroger Field. That's what they call it in Lexington.
Like Kroger, like grocery Kroger?
That's exactly why it's called that. The game at Kroger Field will involve Kentucky having a 3-point pick in this one. So we'll see what happens.
Fingers crossed. You want to talk about who you're going to be picking this weekend?
I'm going to touch that one
because
it's a close game.
Well, I'll just keep poking the bear until we get there, Ned. Have a great day.